Joined by Senator Rick Scott this morning. Want to talk to you about trade, but want to start with a conversation about Hong Kong, these protests, and what you think is going to happen there, and where you think the U.S. stands in the middle of all of this, Senator.
Sure. Well, I think China is like a business partner that embezzles. They break all the rules. I mean, they were never supposed to change the political structure of Hong Kong. They are. They were supposed to open up the markets with the WTO. They don't. They're not supposed to be stealing our technology. They do. They promised not to militarize the South China Sea. They are. They're helping Maduro in Venezuela. So they're not a great partner. They're an adversary. They're a political adversary, economic adversary, military adversary. So we've got to do everything we can to take care of ourselves and see if we can get them to change. But right now, I don't see how we'll get a deal done with them. We've got to help American companies to do everything we can to buy American products so we get more American jobs, and stop helping China and stop acting like they're a partner. They are not a partner of America.
But at what cost? And I raised the question because we do have this report from Goldman Sachs over the weekend that specifically suggests that this trade war is now costing us. It's costing American citizens, and it's costing us our growth.
Look, sure. Clearly, we're going to have some short-term pain, but we've got to stop. We've got to stop China from stealing our technology. They've got to open up their markets. They've got to start being a partner. They're not a partner. So I think anything we raise in tariffs, we ought to give back to the American public in tax reductions, so it doesn't impact American families. We've got to help American farmers open up more markets for them, around the world. So, but we've got to understand they are not our partner; they're adversary. We will have short-term pain, unfortunately.
Senator, just a week ago, the U.S. Treasury Department declared China a currency manipulator. The IMF has disagreed, but President Trump has said that actually the devaluation of the yuan has meant that consumers here at home are not feeling a pinch from the trade war. Is that true?
Well, clearly, if they keep reducing their currency, we'll be able to buy things less expensively.
So is that a good thing, actually, then?
Well, they're clearly manipulating the currency. Is it going to help us possibly short term? Absolutely. But in the end, we've got to figure out how to get China to stop stealing our technology. They've got to start acting responsibly, open up the South China, or open up their markets. So they've got to start acting like a partner rather than an adversary. And right now, they're still acting like an adversary.
Senator, it's Michelle Caruso Cabrera here. Good to see you again. What if the PLA goes in and crushes this thing in Hong Kong? How's Congress going to react?
Well, I think everybody's going to be furious. First off, if you look at what comes out of D.C. now, China does not have a lot of friends. We all know that what they're doing with Huawei is not in our best interest. That's a national security threat. So whether it's a Republican or Democrat, I think everybody is seeing that China is our adversary and is causing problems. They're building a military to try to defeat us long term. So I think this will just be another leg up. I've proposed legislation that we ought to stop. We are spending $4 million a year through the Peace Corps teaching Chinese in China to learn American English. Why are we doing that? We ought to make sure we do no business with Huawei, and we need to stop buying Chinese drones that can take our technology. I have bills on all these things. And there's other congressmen and women and senators that are doing the same thing. We've got to figure out how to get China to start acting responsibly. In the meantime, we've got to take care of American interest, American jobs.
Senator, though, do you have any question at all in terms of how we're doing it? Meaning, to the extent that there's now a real question about whether this is going to cost the United States, whether we would have been better off or could still be better off by negotiating with China, not in such a bilateral way, but by bringing in some allies?
Sure. That's what you would always like to bring in, every ally. You'd always like to do all these things. But look, we've pacified China for decades. We've sat here and acted like they're a partner, and we've watched them take advantage of us. So I'm not sure what else we can do other than stand up for American interest and American values. So I'm not sure what the president can do other than the tariffs that he's doing. He can give all the speeches. China has agreed to things with other presidents and then just backed off. I mean, they were never supposed to change the political structure of Hong Kong. They are. I mean, think about it. This is not a group that you can negotiate with.
Senator, what if it starts to push the U.S. economy into recession early next year in an election year? Do you think it would be worth the president standing back, softening the rhetoric for a period of time?
I think we've got to keep going down this path. It's our only chance to get them to open up their markets, stop stealing our technology. We all have to understand they are our adversary. They are not a partner. They're not acting like a partner. You hate this. You'd love people to work together. You see it in business. You think, why are people fighting, and why don't they figure out how to cooperate? But they do. China has decided they're a totalitarian government. They want to control the entire world economy and the world order. So if we believe in American values and we believe in free enterprise, then we've got to fight, and this is what we have to do.
But Hong Kong, Senator, has always been treated differently because of the one country, two systems policy, because of how much global business is headquartered there. But your colleague, Senator Marco Rubio, was among a handful of senators who earlier this year introduced a bill that would strip Hong Kong of its special status, that allows it to be exempt from tariffs and a whole host of other policies that are put on China. And I'm wondering at what point you think that special status should be revoked, and if we're getting close.
Well, clearly, if the PLA goes in, and clearly, if they've changed the rules where Hong Kong is no different than mainland China, then we have to change how we perceive them. Hopefully, that won't happen. You just feel sorry for the people in Hong Kong that have had this unbelievable prosperity and had this political freedom and got to live under a free market system, and now all of a sudden the rug's being taken out from under them. So, and if China does this, if mainland China does this, then we're going to have to change how we act. But let's all remember, these are all decisions by the Chinese government. This is not a decision. Trump didn't make the decision for the Chinese government to steal our technology or to not comply with the WTO or now to try to change the deal in Hong Kong. This is President Xi making these decisions. He is the one that can change this. All President Trump can do is react to it, and that's what he's doing.